Good morning, third graders. So today we are going to be using geoboards and we're going to be talking about perimeter. So we did talk about perimeter a little bit before, but we're just going to kind of review and we're going to look at some problems that give us the total perimeter, but it may be missing a side link. So we're going to use our critical thinking skills today to kind of figure out what the side link is that's missing and also solve for some perimeter as well. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to look at this together. So let me present this. All right, so we have our perimeter. So we're going to use our critical thinking skills, like I said, and you will need maybe a sheet of paper or a pencil, just somewhere you can write down some things. So just a little review. What do we remember about perimeter?
Is it we have to add like all the sides up together?
Right. So when we're looking at the word perimeter, the way that I remember is in the middle, it says rim. So when I think about perimeter, I see that word rim and I think about the outside edges. So how would you find the perimeter we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals, but also a few odd shapes today. So like Allison said, you're going to be adding up all the sides, right? So we have to look at what sides are given to us, and we're going to be looking at some shapes like this. So I mentioned the quadrilaterals, we're going to be looking at squares, rectangles, but also some weird shapes like this that may or may not give us the side, some of the side links. So we're going to be looking at a variety of those today. So I am going to pull up my geo board. Let me stop sharing this. Okay. All right. Can you guys see my geo board? Yes, awesome. All right, so we're going to be using this today to kind of explore perimeter. So first, I'm just going to start with a basic rectangle, and we're going to kind of talk about that. So let me we'll do it. And sometimes this geo board can be a little finicky, so we'll see if it works for me today. Okay, so when looking at this rectangle, let's say I'm going to put some side links here, and we're going to talk about this. So on a test, it may give you these two side links, but what do we remember about the side links of a rectangle? If this side is 4, what would this side be?
The same.
4, yeah.
4, right? So the same with this. This side is 6. This other side would also be 6 because these sides are congruent, right? So with that being said, most of the time on a test, it will probably just give you these two side links because you have to know that these sides are congruent. And when solving for perimeter, you have to make sure that you add up all the sides. So just because the side link may not be here, you have to remember to add it because there probably will be an answer choice that's just 6 plus 4, which is 10. So you have to be careful of that and make sure you add up all the sides. So when we're going to kind of talk about a few different ways that you can do this. So, okay, so when you have these two side links, what is one way that you could find the perimeter?
Adding them together?
Right, so you can just say 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 equals the perimeter, right? Or there may be another way. So if you know that there's 2 6s and 2 4s, what could you do?
Could you try like doubling the 6s and then like doubling the 4s?
Right,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so if you know your doubles, you can say 6 and 6 is 12. And then you can say 4 plus 4 is 8, right? So that's another way to look at it. Also, like we talked about the doubles, if you want to just say 6 times 2, that's another way you can look at it. So when we're looking at this, like I said, make sure you add up all the side links. So we're gonna do that. So 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4, what would be the perimeter of this shape?
20.
20, right? And the same goes for this. So when looking at a rectangle, that is one way that you can use a few different ways to solve for the perimeter. So now let me clear this. And we're going to look at another shape. So let's just say we have, we'll do it like this. So now we're going to look at a square, and squares are also kind of similar. I'll just say 4. So with a square, it might only give you one side length. Why is that? What would be the other side lengths?
They would all be equal.
Yeah.
Right? They're all the same. So all of these would be 4. So like we talked about, you can simply do 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Or you can use doubles again. So if you know 4 plus 4 is 8, and then 4 and 4 is 8, you can do 8 plus 8. Or you can even multiply. So you can have 4, and there's 4 sides, right? So you would do 4 times 4, and that would give you the answer as well. So what would be the perimeter of this square?
16.
Awesome. So you would do 16. So I'm just showing you guys that there's a few different ways that you can look at it, and whichever way works best for you, you'll be able to use on tests or when you're trying to solve these problems. So now I'm going to show you guys one of those odd shapes that we talked about, and it's I'm going to give you guys the total perimeter, and we're going to look at how we can solve for missing side lengths. So let me just make something here. So we saw something like this on the PowerPoint. So I'm just going to put some side links here. All right, so there are some side links, but then we also have a missing side link. So whenever we're looking at problems like this, if it gives you the total perimeter, we know that perimeter is adding all the sides, right? So let's say they tell us the total perimeter. Oops, I can't type today. We'll just say the total perimeter is 20. So if we know that perimeter is adding all the sides, what could you do to solve for this missing side right here?
I can subtract 20 from the total links that are shown.
Right, so we're gonna go ahead and add these up, and then we're gonna subtract that from the total, because this side link added with these side links has to equal this 20, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2. So can anyone tell me what 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2 is?
16.
Awesome. So now we would subtract that from the total. Oops. So what would be the missing side length here?
4.
4.
4. Awesome. So that's one way you can do it. You'll add up all the sides and then subtract that from the total perimeter, and that will give you this missing side length here. So now for independent practice, I'm just going to give you guys a shape like this, and I'm going to have you find the missing side length, and then you can simply either show me that you wrote it down, or you can type it in the chat, whatever works for you. Whatever's easier. Okay. Let's do 4. We're trying to find this side length here. All right, and then the total perimeter. Okay. So we have our side lengths and the total perimeter is 16. So you guys are going to just solve for this missing side length right here.
So I got answer, or my answer is 4.
Okay, so how did you solve for that missing side length?
First, I added 2 plus 4 plus 6, which is 12, and then I subtracted it from 16.
Awesome. So yes, that is exactly correct. You would add these. So 6 plus 4 is 10, right? And then 4 plus 2 is, 10 plus 2 is 12. And then when you subtract 16 minus 12, you get the 4. So awesome job. Thank you guys so much for participating and have a wonderful day.